So I saved this, damn it, I saved this earlier today because I thought I was going to get one thing when I went to the comment section. And it's one of those things where people take something that you think is could only really be positive, and found they found Waldo essentially with the negativity. So this guy, I'm gonna read his caption, then I'm gonna read the tweet he captioned. All right. Um, this is the saddest side of late stage capitalism I have ever seen. Our masters have trained us so well. We brag about how well our chains of slavery bind us. Now, I have no clue what specifically late stage capitalism is. I really don't care. I don't think it's relevant. If I'm wrong, oh well, because I'm not going to look it up. But the screenshot he took had this to say: My coworker Casey has built a reputation for himself as the quote, the guy who sits on his laptop in bars, unquote, from San Francisco to New York City. Last week, Thoughtly brought on a customer that needed to launch within 2 weeks. He just so happened to be getting married within that 2 week window. So here is he wrapping up a pull request at his own wedding. Congrats, Casey. Now please go take some time off. Now, I want to point something out real quick. At the very beginning, he says, my co founder. So this guy, he's not just a workaholic for a boss, which you should never do, even though, like, at some point, people have to work for other people. But this is his business that he's putting work into, his sweat into. That is his. It's his. It is literally like the thing he built or is building actively. And somehow people take this to mean, you know what, I just can't do it. I couldn't be me. Remember, he said at his own wedding for 2 weeks. Think about that. That would mean that his wife saw the work ethic that he had. He built a reputation for himself, the guy who sits on his laptop. So this is him. But somehow, all they could think about was the negative shit that came with this. You cannot have a society filled with people go, why don't men do better? Why can't we have the guy that makes as much? Why can't we? And then as soon as you find a guy who's trying his damnness to build something that is his own, which likely will yield at the very minimum something close to that six-figure mark that is bragged about so much, and then you find a way to shit on it. That's crazy. But let's get to these comments. This lady says, how does his partner feel about that though? If you can't put your work aside for one night that's important to them and the fam, then how is everyday life going to be like? Okay. If you've ever had a hoe phase, how do we know you're not going to be a hoe any longer? You see that? Like, one thing is fun. One thing is an absolute necessity to get where you're going. But we can only think about the bad of the person who's doing the hard work. All right. If I was his wife, I'd divorce before that cake got cut. I've learned from experience if he's grinding that hard, he will not support you in your hours of need. He will not prioritize you or children or anything of actual importance because work will always be more important. Wow. Wow. Something of actual importance? I guess your hours of need won't require a hospital visit ever, and that bill needs to be paid. I suppose your absolute need he'll never have to cut a check ever in your hours of need. I'm not saying that's the only time you need something, but you can't talk like your hours of need will never need to be paid for, or somebody need to cut a check. That job, that business is absolutely important. This is the one downside to owning a business that a lot of people apparently don't understand. No, it's not a 9 to 5. Sometimes it literally is this. Now, will you get to a point where you can actually be a normal human? Usually, from what I hear, I've never done this, but from what I hear, you get there at some point. But there are times where you got to build that up before you can get there. In a lot of cases, and to assume that he's going to be one of those people who just gets addicted to it, even though he doesn't have to do it, that's unfair as hell. That is wildly unfair. That's like saying, well, if she's had one abortion, then you definitely can't trust her to have your actual kid because she'll just kill that one too. Why can't we just assume that? Why? Shit. Again, just finding the negative bullshit in everything. Wow. The comments up in here are grim. Just as general FYI, guys, this is rude as fuck. His friends and family took time out of their lives and left their work to spend time with him and to have him be present for this occasion. Stop trying to defend it, you freaking weirdos. JFC, you cannot take it with you. He'll realize it on his deathbed, like they all do when his 20-year-old third wife is stealing his pills and his 50-year-old kids haven't spoken to him since before his third wife was born. You all are painting a picture of can't win, right? Because if this guy was on the flip side, now I'm not saying there's only two, but I'm just giving you an example of the two extremes. But he was on the flip side of someone who, you know what, let's not even go that far. How often do you watch these shows, listen to these podcasts, and sometimes in person here, you can't be a guy that's content. Can't just be cool working at 9 to 5. But for some reason, when you got a guy who's grinding his ass off, that's not good either. What the fuck do you want? What do you want? I don't understand. I don't get this. You've got to like give me something like give me something intangible that I can look at and like actual assess, because coming down on a dude because he was working at his wedding, which is again it's an anomaly. It's not typical, but obviously means this guy is on to something. He has a reputation. It ain't like he was a lazy bum. Then out of nowhere, somebody called him, and now he's working on his wedding. No, this is what he does. He looks like somebody who's on a roll. Now, another thing. She assumed a lot in this, as they all did. She assumed a lot. When he's on his deathbed, was his 20-year-old wife. It's amazing that in these hypotheticals that come up with about men, somehow they always magically just assume that this is the one guy who's not a Dusty and will be able to pull a chick that's like a third or a half his age. like y'all tell us that so many, like most of us just ain't shit. We're not cute, we're not rich, we don't have big dicks, we're not charming, we ain't shit. Most of us ain't shit. But every time y'all got a convenient example y'all want to make, he's going to leave his wife for a woman who's really young and hot. How? He ain't shit according to the numbers. But magically, he's some shit now. He ain't got time at his own wedding, but he definitely has time to pull a 20-year-old hottie, huh? All right. That you're full of shit. You are full of shit, but let's move on. Can't focus too long. Damn. Looks to me like, you know what? This one started off good when I saw it, but then the way she took it was like, oh my fucking God, you did that? And let's do it. We're gonna read the whole thing. Looks to me like a high valued man that paid for everything. That's the point lately, right? I'm not sure where the bride is right now, but since that party is still jumping and he's not looking sad, I'm guessing she's just sitting alone somewhere happy she never signed the prenup. And in this case, she shouldn't have. Why does this? Who does this and is surprised about divorce? If a woman marries for money and a man marries for looks, the drama is warranted. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. I don't understand. Were you trying to purposely be a smartass, or did you just like talk about this and then it kind of just like as you were typing, you said, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to blah blah blah. I'm just saying some shit, negative shit, like as I do this, like that's what's fucking me up right now. Because either that happened or she started this entire thing around the concept of, oh, he wants to do business at a wedding. Fuck it, take his money. Why? Why? Why are we talking about divorce right now? Uh, Not because he whooped her ass, which, again, when it comes to dudes who are like that kind of bad, y'all don't go this far with it. Y'all don't. Either you will bitch about domestic violence, or you guys will come up with some weird excuse for why you go back. It's very weird. But in this case, fuck it. Ruin him. Take everything he worked at that wedding for to let him know it just wasn't worth it. Shit. Where do you go with this? When you're constantly seeing examples of the extreme too. And please, people, stop saying it's the internet, go outside. Because these are the people that are outside. They're mobile phones. They take them with them. They probably type this while like in a line getting a bagel. Like, please stop. Please stop. I actually run these examples that I see online. I actually run into these women in real life who say this shit. Hell, I was texting a girl today I met on Facebook Match. I question mine now. What is your travel requirement? Because they all have one. This chick told me she tries to travel at least 4 times a year. Well, holy shit, how much PTO do you have? She hasn't responded. It's been 2 days. So I guess I actually texted 2 days ago. You get the point. So this is again, I asked, where the fuck do you go with this? Because it sounds like you can't, you got to be perfect with that balance, which tell your customers that, or you should be, everything you have is all up for grabs. It should be taken from you because your wife had to suffer an inconvenience at a fucking wedding, an overpriced party. She had to suffer the inconvenience. You couldn't give two fucks about it, which again, most dudes don't need a wedding. So can we claim inconvenience that we had to plan this stupid shit? Can we? Can we ever during the time go, oh, we need this, and then we need this, and then we need that, and then we need this, we need to invite these people, can we ever go, oh, I'm just so inconvenienced? If she stresses out and collapses, I shouldn't have to go to the doctor because like she should have like, can we be that negative about our marriage? Can we? Damn. I'm actually going to read it. I usually don't like to read people with private accounts, but fuck it. That he responded. Says commies don't understand someone's pride in their work and enjoying the work that they do. He responds, yeah, this is completely normal. Working at your own wedding. How do these boots taste, by the way? They seem to be completely inside your mouth. This is what? All right, waste of time. Imagine being proud of this and not utterly horrified, so embarrassed. People, okay, let's think about this. He's trying to close a deal at the same time getting married. A deal at his own business. That could potentially be 2 milestones completed. Completed. I cannot snap. Completed in one night. Think about it. If his marriage goes the distance, him and his wife could be 60 years old, 65 years old, reminiscing, oh, remember at the wedding, you did your thing, and now they're living the high life. Not that thought. Just the thought of, oh, how horrible. He's a terrible person. That's what you think about? That? We'll try to get two more. If he is a co-founder and has equal level of ownership as Tory, he is the master, not the slave. He is one of the guys who is going to get the big payoff, not the schlub working for $15 an hour. If he isn't a part owner, then he is a slave. Um, okay, just because you're not the part owner doesn't mean you're not trying to go for a position that can still give you a big payoff. I don't, people. You don't have to own the business to justify going to work. What is that? I don't understand why that's become a thing the last decade, or hell, maybe my entire life actually. You can only justify doing work if you own the business. That's stupid. That's stupid. Can you live your life? Can you pay your bills? Can you afford like what you need to do? Can you do that? I don't think you need to own the business to justify getting your ass out of bed in the morning. Damn. This guy responded, the original post responded. He could still have VCs and shareholders to answer to, or even just the conceptual master of greed and capitalism exists in his heart driving to this behavior. We all have masters. To think anybody's free of masters is quite naive. If we all have masters, why are you blaming this on capitalism? Now I'm starting to think that this is one of those people that just wants to argue for the sake of arguing, because now at this point he's redundant. Let's try to get another. Let's try to get one last one. Oh my gosh, somebody brought race into it. This might not count, but I'm gonna give it a shot. We black folk try to warn everyone. We know what slavery look. Come on, I'm not reading that goofy shit. I'm reading this last one, and that's it. He says, "Who gives a shit where he works if he's getting rewarded for it? I find it difficult to concentrate in the office, so I like going somewhere I can properly relax and then actually want to work. This guy's fine. Worry about the wage slaves." He says, "So you relax and work best at your own wedding?" He said somewhere. But again, I still think I think both of you are wrong actually, because if he's doing it at his own wedding, and then the guy said he's trying to close something, this is his deal to close. Obviously, he's not doing it just because he's trying to find a good place to work. He's doing it because there's a request that he needs to fulfill, that he needs to take care of. What the fuck? I just I don't get it. I don't get it. Tell me, like, explain to me in the comment section what the fuck, like, men are supposed to take from these mixed signals in society, because I don't understand. Because you can't, it's extremely difficult to have that perfect balance. It so I drive a truck for a living. I picked the job that I my first truck driving job, which I feel has the best work-life balance, meaning time off and shit. I've never worked a Sunday. I've only worked 2 Saturdays over the course of 6 years. And I get every major holiday off. So I could, because Walmart offered me like a few jobs starting at like 84 grand. And I think the average at Walmart is like 106 the last time I checked, somewhere in there. But they go 5 days on the road, 2 days home. And it's a cycle. So it's not guaranteed you're going to have that Thanksgiving off. It's not guaranteed you're going to have the 4th of July off. So even though I'm not the type of person that be in the kitchen and shit, I want to be home on Thursdays, especially now when the Lions are good. I want to be home on Thursdays watching that game. I want to punch the clock, 4:30, get off, go home, play my basketball, come home, play my game, whatever, maybe watch TV. I want that balance. So to think that I'm pretty sure the job's out there, but they're far in between. If you get that job that's paid higher, that time you ain't gonna have that time. I had a guy offer me a job. It was years ago. Uh, he was like, I said, he said it was 1,800 a week, and I forget where it was, but it was like over the road. And I brought up holidays. He chuckled, and here's the thing: he chuckled on text. So that really told me he was full of shit. He chuckled on text. Said, "Yeah, we'll get you. I don't work holidays. I'll get you home. What the fuck you work holidays got to do with me? You're the owner of the company. Of course you don't work holidays. What that got to do with me? Do I have to work holidays? Do I have to work on Thanksgiving? Do I have to work on Christmas?" He didn't give me a straight up, you will not, you got my guarantee, you will not work then. Deuces. So you gotta pick shit. He could have picked where he would have an opportunity to be able to just take time off and have that wedding. But he might not have had the business. Or he might have lost the deal. He might have lost the customer. So I don't understand how y'all want people, or in a specific case, men, to navigate when, if they miss some birthdays, it's a problem. But if they can't get you on that plane 4 times a year, it's also a problem. The fuck do you want? Be right, not positive. I'm out.